time starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Our team is Byodez, and the team members are Karthik, Nachiket, Mangaldas, and myself, Rekha. Our need statement is an effective way to place the endotracheal tube in patients with minimal neck extension in an emergency setting so as to minimize spinal cord injuries. And our needs criteria is the must-have is the maximum neck extension should not be more than 5 degrees, and the nice-to-haves are the doctor or whoever is placing the endotracheal tube, they should place it right for the first time, like they should not fail, and it should be of low cost, and it should be easy to handle, and then the tubes should manage effectively, and the tubes can be integrated to that laryngoscope. It would be better. Description of the prototype, over to him.
Okay, and before that, I'll just give you the journey of what we did. First, we were looking at, right now, the procedure is done with the laryngoscope, so we were wondering whether we can actually take that laryngoscope out of the picture and see, look at it from a fresh perspective, whether we can have some, show it with that. So, whether we can, right now they take the laryngoscope, push up the upper part of the throat, trachea, and then put in the tube. So we were wondering whether we can have it, have some kind of mechanism or something. We were, the direction of thoughts were to push, have the device go in, and then we could have the tubes go in later on. So we were looking at that direction. So starting we went a little crazy and having that preliminary device go in, and then we would use a magnet to kind of attract the secondary tube towards the upper part, so that it's always on top, and then it easily slides into the.
Again, let me elaborate this thing.
No, this is not IISC. Okay.
Just the idea. First idea was what that we were placing the magnet on the top. Okay. So and we put the tube facing which is touching the upper this surface. So due to the magnet effect, it will stick to the upper surface, and you can see the trachea is on the top surface, so it will directly press this part without going into the food pipe.
So similarly, we were looking at whether the surface tension of the saliva itself would be helping us to have the tube stick to the upper part of the tube, the trachea. So that was this one. So finally we decided to go with the third concept, which she will explain.
So okay, I will explain the final concept that we have selected and made a prototype.
So yeah, this is the guy.
Yeah. So our need statement was, for the person having back pain, he has a difficulty for moving his neck. So without moving his neck, so we could able to put this pipe inside the lung, and we could able to supply the required air to the lungs. So what we did is that we have taken one big flexible pipe. Okay, this flexible pipe we will put manually inside till the epiglottis, here at the junction, up till this part. Okay, and then we have attached one more small tube, ET tube, which will contain the oxygen, which will pass the oxygen, and which is attached to the surface inside the big tube. So this tube will be moved up till this, and this will be having some markings over here. So while putting inside, we will put in such a way that this marking will be along this lower lip. This marking will be at the lower lip. So while putting this smaller pipe will directly go to the trachea without going to the food pipes. So what we do is, what we did is this. You can see here, this is a bigger pipe, and this smaller pipe is going along only one lower line. So we will put like this. Difficult to put.
Okay. So, but just imagine that this pink one doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist right now. So we'll mark here. Okay. So this will trace from the lower lip. We'll put it like this inside. And this will reach up till this trachea. Okay, and then we'll push this ET tube. This ET tube will directly go along this trachea. So this will directly go to the trachea without going to the food pipe. So it will eliminate the two things. One is we are earlier using that laryngoscope. So that will eliminate it, and this is the integrated part of the whole system. That was our concept. Again, for attaching this, we have an inflated balloon on both the tubes, for the outer tube also and inner tube also. So after inflating, it will stick, adhere to the esophagus, trachea, on the both sides, so it won't move.
So yeah, we have a.
Now after this, what we will do is that we will validate this prototype, going to the doctor, and after that we will improve on the shortcomings, and then we will make a SolidWorks model and the detailed drawing of this, and then again we will make a full-fledged 1:1 prototype, and we will again test on the on this patient by consulting the doctor.
Fantastic. So I think novel idea. Please in the beginning. So what I liked about your need is that it is selecting a very specific population where endotracheal intubation is difficult. So that kind of justifies why you want a whole new approach, because you can't use a rigid laryngoscope in patients where you can't extend their necks. So it will be very interesting to see what kind of feedback doctors from the emergency medicine do. So you met Dr. Raghuveer yesterday and you met Dr. Sajid today. Both are from the emergency medicine department. So they will be able to put you in touch with more people, and we can connect you because our team is in the emergency medicine till the end of this month, and try and get as much feedback, and if possible see an intubation in a patient where the neck cannot be extended. So I think I like your need statement and your concept, but since this is going to be a whole new process, then we'll have to validate that and see what are the issues that come up in terms of that. I noticed that you have many nice to haves and just one must have, but a recommendation on the nice to have that try and keep measurable outcomes. So low cost is how low, right? Even if it is 0.5 paise cheaper than what's existing, it is still lower cost compared to what's existing. And easy to handle, easiness or comfortableness is not very easily measurable, right? What might be easy for me might be difficult for someone else because of a whole lot of different factors. So I think if you can have a bit of measurable outcomes there, then it's easy to see whether you've achieved what you wanted to. And add a couple of more must-haves so that it becomes, with maximum neck extension of 5 degrees is the only must-have. That means I can do anything else to get the tube inside, right? It could be more painful, it could create bleeding, it could, this also allows that if it enters into the esophagus, it's all right. Because it's not mentioned anywhere in your criteria that it shouldn't enter the esophagus, right? So if you have a solution that goes into the esophagus, as per your criteria, you're okay with that. But I would say that that's critical because you're trying your best so that it doesn't go inside the esophagus. So maybe you could include those things and then get this validated well enough. Any other feedback?
Probably a little bit of what is existing out there for to do this. Because sometimes we get focused on what is being practiced in India, right? But there could be other markets where they may have something different. So look for such information. Have you done anything to look at
Even on using the same device, we've seen videos on it, but we have not seen other forms of it.
So even with that, people who cannot move their head.
So right now they still use the laryngoscope itself, but they try to avoid too much movement.
I can give you a lead that there are orotracheal intubation, there are also nasotracheal intubation. So there are smaller tubes, especially in children, which can be passed in from the nose and can go inside the trachea. That doesn't really require too much of neck extension. And also there are fiber optic bronchoscopes that are available that through the nose you can enter inside the lung. So maybe you can study that in more detail and see if your solution could be adapted to that or assist it or gain some insights from it.
Do some research on that perspective so that you give an idea. It's not exactly what Jagdish was saying. Related idea, how do they really get it? So any of those can be. You can adapt those ideas, or if you find that something else is available, probably it's not worth it. Then on the nice to have, low cost is just nice to have. So I thought it would be a need to have, correct? I can't say must have, but anybody, low cost should be a
Stakeholder is hospital. Sterilization, as it's going inside the body, it should be sterilized, but as the stakeholder is a hospital, it's not the end patient. So probably. And
no, but anything low cost is actually welcome. Okay, it's not put it as a nice to have. It's affordable, right?
So one point from what AVR is saying is you can say it could be comparable to existing endotracheal tubes if they are already there, or 5% or 10% more affordable than that, or a little less more affordable than what's the best solution available. But some comparative marker so that that gives you an idea.
Okay. So just want to look at a slide that what is it? DPD is what actually? DPG, DP.
Which one?
No, that degree.
First.
First page. PG, DPD is what?
Postgraduate diploma in program production.
Sure.
No, wait, just a minute. Postgraduate diploma program in design.
Oh, so did Nachiket's.
Both of us. We both classmates.
So now you share what it is.
Yeah, sure.
So you are the first management person in the team, or anybody other management person? Because the SAR actually comes from management. Right? So what is your experience in working with these people? What is your basic background? You are an engineer?
My bachelor's is EC, electronics.
You are an engineer. Okay. So probably I just want to see really a management by a person's perspective, how it looks like in working with this team.
Yeah, so you can give your perspective.
Yeah. He's a veteran.
I won't claim I'm a veteran. But I was curious about why they had two balloon inflations inside. Even one balloon inflation complicates matters. So two balloon inflations at the same place, inches apart.
I can explain. So the thing is, the ET tube right now currently already has one balloon which goes inside the trachea and expands, so that the ET tube remains inside the trachea. So that we have not changed. So this is the ET tube. Now this switch we are putting, the tube which goes till here, just to the throat, just inside the throat. We have to make sure that the epiglottis is outside, as in it doesn't come in the way of the tube. So right now with the laryngoscope they were able to do that because they were taking it up and the epiglottis was taken out and we could take it up. But with our thing we could not do it. So we had to inflate a balloon so that epiglottis goes up again, and then we put this in. So once the tube is in, we can actually take this off completely. I mean, deflate the balloon, take this kind of a tube out, and just this single thing.
Do you have any idea of how much inflation is needed in that part of the...
I think for the trachea it's about 30 ml of thing, and when you come towards the epiglottis, there's just much more space there. So I'm really not sure, but I would look at it. I would think at least 2 or 3 times more than what the trachea needed. You would need.
So that's
How do you inflate the balloon?
you have that gel kind of a thing, which you just syringe it in, and 30 ml is what you said for the.
Yeah, so I think from every balloon there's a small tube that comes out that has a bulb. So you usually take a syringe and full of air and inflate it.
So even that has to be considered.
That will be done.
So otherwise, great
One
job.
last point,
Yeah.
actually. Go to the next step slide. So what is the work for the management person for the next steps? So can you look at some things from the management perspective, the business perspective?
Like
I
who are
give us
the
a-
stakeholders? And what would
Whatever
we
it is, you decide and then look at, because your presence should be felt next time when we meet, right? Compared to other teams. So do some work on this. Okay. So it could be a cost, it could be a business model, it could be a market size. You know, look at purely from that perspective.
But otherwise, great effort. It's a tough problem. It's a novel need. So fantastic. All right. So.